Welcome back, fellow warriors, to the stage of history. My name is Cosmo Jazz, and I'm joined by my fellow podcast mate, Mr. Moopsy. Say hi.
Hello, how is it you are all doing?
And we are going to be seeing It Chapter 2, the teaser trailer. Now, I'm going to preference this, and I don't know if my colleague also feels the same. This is the one I'm more excited for. The first one was, I was excited for it, but this is the one that's really going to solidify if this is remake is really going to be what we wanted it to be. How about you?
Um, I can definitely understand the sentiment given how uh there's like different things that they could do with this, and they also have to manage to avoid a lot of the horror movie tropes,
Mm,
such as like like the idiot characters, like some like that for example that scary movie joke where like one sign says live, the other one says certain death, and
mm,
like the character goes in the certain death route. Like they have to avoid those kinds of pitfalls.
mm.
um we have to see what kind of new scares that they pull off. And also, I mean, if you remember like the classic, I think it was like from the 80s, I believe that's when the miniseries was.
Yeah, somewhere around
uh
there.
yeah, with Tim Curry. They have to, or if they're gonna go for giant spider, fucking, we have to see how they pull it off. Otherwise, we have to see what they're gonna come up with to make it their own.
Exactly. And that's right there is the reason why I'm anticipating this the most. What do they do with that? Because despite what you may think of the original series, it was iconic for a reason up until that point where it kind of shit the bed.
That's whenever it goes like, oh come on, giant spider, I can go with everything else.
Yeah. So,
I mean, like, sorry to interrupt, but I
no,
mean,
go
I
ahead.
will say that the first chapter they did that, I think, fairly well, because they clearly made it their own with a lot of the characters,
Mm,
and tropes that they did.
mm.
Because when you compare it to the first one, they don't even really use the same scares.
No, they
Uh,
don't.
a lot of the stuff is pretty original, so there's a good chance that they might not do some repeats.
Mm.
But I feel like the big thing everyone's waiting for is to see what happens with the giant spider.
Yeah, that's gonna be the thing for me that will solidify how this remake really holds up. But without further ado, I guess we can go ahead and get started, and we will start on three. So, one, two, three.
Yes, can I help you?
I used to live here.
Interesting.
Dang, she looks just like her.
That's what I was saying. Like, wow,
Is it
that was
much
pretty
of
spot
a
on.
river?
Cleaner.
Well, you feel free to look around while I get the water boiling.
Your hair is winter.
Interesting.
My heart burns there.
What I think that they might have done is they might have cast the kids and the adults like during the first one.
Oh, hi there, down there.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I was like, wait, where are we looking? Oh, there we go.
I do apologize. It gets so very hot here this time of year.
It's fine.
But you
Like,
feel
it's winter.
like you could just about
But it's winter.
to know what they say about Derry.
Hmm.
No one who dies here ever really dies.
Okay, didn't see that coming.
Oh God, they float.
They all float down here. Okay, that's the terrifying smile. Get that out of my face.
Yeah.
So how is it being back in Derry?
Strange.
Strange?
She's aware. She's aware.
Oh, she's hella aware.
Now.
I had some cookies in the oven before you came.
Man, bitch, get the fuck out of here.
Seriously, this is one of the things I was just talking about.
Your photos are lovely, Miss Kirsch. Are these your family?
My father came to this country with
She sounds so far away.
$14 in his pocket.
What did he do, Mrs. Kirsch?
My father.
Something's in
joined
the doorway. Something's in the doorway.
Yep. It's there.
Seriously, yep.
Bitch, get the fuck out.
How the?
Oh, was that the
I'm
naked
getting
person?
PT vibes from this, honestly.
I can kind of see that.
What about you? Are you still his little girl, Beverly?
My camera still on? Yeah, it is.
Are you?
Okay, that's disturbing.
What the fuck?
That looks like some shit out of Silent Hill.
Seriously.
This meeting of the Losers Club has officially begun.
Georgie!
But we have to stick together.
The X-Men are here.
Yeah, seriously.
What the fuck? I kind of want to freeze on that Pennywise thing.
Yeah, the sideways jump.
Okay, that's terrifying. Good old Skarsgård.
Seriously. Oh, did you hear the interview, or did you read the interview he did about how he fucking got like Pennywise nightmares?
Oh yeah, I definitely saw that, and I'm not surprised in the slightest.
Seriously, he wants to see some of this footage and he's just kind of like, God damn it. And I'm the clown.
So it looks like instead of for like more, well, until that last little part at the end before they went to the whole cuts, they're going for more suspense than jump scare.
I mean, like, I don't remember I haven't seen the first one since it was in theaters. Not that it's bad, it's just I'm not a horror guy. But I don't remember them all going for like a lot of jump scares. I remember there was a decent amount, but I feel like a lot of times that when they did the scares, there was always like the good setup of suspense first.
Yeah. Which is one thing I loved about the movie. The first one. So if they're going to keep with that, then I am all for it. Now,
Also,
look good.
because I was gonna say also one of the things that you have to sort of consider is that, like, I feel like they have to go almost a little bit harder on the scares this time around, and they did a good job on this one. Like, freaking, I am curious to see what the hell that old lady's gonna look like in the movie.
Oh, absolutely.
But one of the things you also have to consider is what is it that they're gonna do for the scares? Because you have to keep in mind that it's not only the audience has seen a lot of these or a lot of the stuff that Pennywise can do, but like also the characters.
Mm-hmm.
And you heard us yelling in like during the video that like we were yelling like "Run, bitch, run!"
So many red flags.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's like if that's kind of like the status that the way that they keep the characters, the movie might be in some trouble. If I'm perfectly honest, because then we would just be like, well, those fuckers were idiots because they didn't fucking do anything. So we have to see how like they develop how they write out the characters to like handle scary situations.
Now I will say that adult Bev in the original, not exactly the brightest person, so they might be going for that. But at the same time, this is a new one. They could try to change that. So I don't know. I'm still very interested though, because it looks like it's gonna be pretty darn good.
I'm curious also like for like a lot of the big scenery, because a lot of times where Pennywise would get them, they were almost like, if I remember correctly, he would get them from like in these like small compact kind of spaces, like in the garage or in the sewers or stuff like that. But this time around, he has like the whole park, so I'm thinking like, what kind of wide scale craziness can we expect from that?
Well, we saw two things. One was that you saw all those red balloons in that park. So he's already doing on a pretty big scale. And the other one was the one I kind of wanted to freeze frame. I wonder if I can find it. Where he was just on the wall.
Oh yeah, that sideways jumping thing. Let's see.
Wait, go back. Don't autoplay, please. Whatever. It's two frame thing. I don't want to deal with this. But,
yeah.
But so he's definitely going to be on a bigger scale this time. It's just how big of that scale is going to be.
Yeah, like the balloons are definitely like a nice touch because you know that that's going to grab a lot of people's attention. But like, because there's also some parts where I'm kind of curious whether what he's going to do in terms of like actual, it's like a 234. What like actual scale he's gonna involve himself in? Is he gonna go giant like he did in the garage, or is he going to like sort of do like multiple versions of him all spread around, or what's like his with that attack pattern gonna be this time around?
And one thing I do wonder, and they're probably not gonna do it, but I do wonder if they're gonna try to do something with that library scene that was in the original. because that a lot of people remember that mainly for something funny, but also.
Oh yeah.
But I kind of wonder if they're gonna try to do something in the library this time around.
I will say that because remembering off of this review I saw of it, like it doesn't. One of the things about it in the original that it kind of doesn't work or it doesn't hold up is the fact that like these are balloons that have like some bloody stuff in it, but you can see like the actors react and like the balloon pops actually like affect like the hair and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one of the times where like CG can actually help, so that it like the actors definitely, if they do that, they won't be affected by any popping balloons.
Which makes sense.
And I mean like I remember, and what I'm curious about is like I remember there was like a nod to like the original with Tim Curry with like the little Pennywise doll in that room full of clown dolls.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if there's gonna be another one in this one.
I wouldn't be surprised, though. I wonder if they'll do that because they did do a nod to the space turtle. I don't know. We'll have to see. But because you actually made me think, what if they just do a nod to the spider?
That I would not be surprised if they did a nod to the spider, but I wouldn't be surprised also, or either, whichever one works. If it's like they do a nod to the spider. But it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if they did a nod, but it's also like a derogatory nod, like, oh my god, look at that big spider, and they step on it or something.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I'd actually respect that. But I think, you have anything else?
Not really. Skarsgård still looks freaking creepy, and I think I've addressed. I think I've addressed everything I've wanted to address. I do kind of hope that like to see a comparison or a group shot of like the two like versions of the kids and the adults, and I'm sure that'll pop up later. Because I will say that like the casting for old Bev, when you see young Bev, you're just kind of like, Jesus Christ, are we sure that's not the same person?
Absolutely, because like literally, you and me both agree on that. It's like, wow, the casting, and we got to see like the adults. Now I do wonder if the ones that didn't get much screen time. I think his name was Mike, and the I just have to call him the Jewish boy. I'm sorry.
It's Mike and shit, I can't remember.
Yeah, well, I wonder if those two will get actually more to do this time. Because they were kind of added on in the remake, the first chapter. One of my only gripes, really. But I mean, it was such a good movie. It's like, nitpick.
Yeah. Because you think about it, and it's like, do we really want this movie to go on longer? And that would actually ruin a lot of it. If I remember correctly, I remember one of the guys in the original miniseries, like they commit suicide. I'm trying to remember which one of the kids was it. Or which one of the kids it would be this time around.
If I remember correctly, it was Seth Green's character that did it. Who was the funny one?
Oh, Richie.
Yeah.
Okay. Because what I'm thinking is that what might happen is they might give some character to either Mike or the Jewish guy, like after Richie commits suicide.
And if I get it wrong, just tell me in the comments. Don't blame me.
Yeah. Like, we're trying to remember something from the 80s that we haven't seen in ages.
Yeah. But, no, I think that'll be it. Go ahead and plug your stuff, Mr. Moops.
Follow my channels at Everything Mr. Moopsy. My YouTube, my Twitter, my Instagram, and my Twitch.
Nice. And, as always, ask yourself this one question. Does your soul still burn? Bye, guys. Have a blessed day.
Later, bitches.
And...